It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Adams, sitting in with Dan DeFaw.
Well, you know what, Mike? I found you.
I just was never missing.
Yes, you were. Last week, I had to literally break into the cabin.
I knew where I was at all the time. You knew where I was at.
Yeah, but, hey, I'm not going to be there. So I got dressed in black, and I climbed through the window, and I made a podcast.
Yeah. Well, I hope nobody does that this week because we're not back in the cabin. We're actually on the road again this week.
You're right. We're back in Saginaw.
Sitting on the front porch of Cabela's.
On a nice sunny day.
Watching people come and go, picking up their stuff for archery season. And why are we not in the stand? That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll leave that one. Big question mark.
Opening weekend of archery season, and I was at Cabela's yesterday working for Vortex. Today we're working for Cabela's at Cabela's in Saginaw.
This is Deer Classic weekend.
Yeah.
Which is actually a surprise because normally they do it the first weekend in November.
Yeah, well, I guess this makes a little sense putting it back around, the 1st of October. Everybody's getting ready for archery season, getting in the woods and doing all that kind of stuff. Yesterday, besides the rain that I saw going down.
You mean the rain all week?
Yeah. I started building an ark, actually.
I
finished the blind and started building an ark because it's rained for a solid week.
It has, and I tell you what, what the weatherman's saying after today, it's going to be nice.
It better be. But, yesterday I was heading down early in the morning, heading down to Dundee to Cabela's down there. And it was, you could pick out all the different spots where people were hunting because you could see the trucks pulled over on the side of the road at different little hunting spots. And you knew they were hunters just because they were pulled into these little pull-off areas right next to woods.
Exactly. And you know what? It's that time of year. You're starting to see that a lot. I saw it last week when I was out squirrel hunting. Several trucks pulled off in different areas where, they're in getting their stands ready and whatnot.
Right on.
And here we are yesterday morning, a little rainy in the beginning. I don't know. I know I've seen some success on Facebook. So
anybody that's put a deer down yet?
Yes, a couple of people.
Okay.
Actually, Ken Cicluna, who we had on the show, it looks like he got a doe.
Okay.
And Ken Ware's his son.
That's right. He shot a 6-point.
Got a 6-point last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're hunting up Harrison, I think, is the area.
Okay.
But, So it's open. It's October 2nd today, and the season has commenced.
I thought you were going out yesterday morning.
No. I was just hanging back, doing the things around getting ready because in 3 weeks when I leave, then we're going to do some hunting.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but we know Robin went out for the first time. She was out watching her reports from Facebook. I don't know. I think Cody went out in Ohio on Friday.
Right.
Did you see that Facebook Live?
I saw he did a Facebook Live as well, yeah.
Yeah,
and I know their season opened not this weekend, past weekend, I should say, the 24th, but they had a small buck on camera. They didn't do any shooting down there, him and Mara, but at least they're seeing some deer.
You know what? They're seeing some deer, and we in a couple weeks, because we're both going to go up the same week, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll be up the weekend before, but I'm taking that same week off as you.
Hopefully, we'll be seeing some deer.
Better be. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I pulled trail cam photos, looked at them. I'm going to say it's a little disconcerting. If I have to fill the freezer this year with does, that's fine. But the bucks, either I got the cameras in the wrong spot or they've changed their patterns. But
do you think the logging did it?
Don't know. I know there's been a lot of activity up on the property. There's, we had the logging that's taken place, and I was up there, messing around with my blind, and we've had other people up there messing around with their blinds, and I don't know. I guess when I go back up and pull the rest of my cards that I didn't get a chance to look at, I'll have a better idea. But I got this one photo. It's pretty cool. Right off the 2-track where there's a deer run that crosses. I got a camera set up, and it looked like about a 2.5, maybe a 3.5-year-old. I think it was 2.5-year-old 8-point, and he was on his hind legs, just as high as he could reach, and had his nose in the end of a branch. I assume making a licking branch, on an oak tree. It was pretty cool, but he was all the way up on his hind legs, and I'm like, that's pretty cool to be able to see that.
That is cool when you catch that on camera. And I've seen similar to that in my backyard, watching a mama doe kind of teach. I'm going to say teach because the 2 yearlings were staring at her, watching her do this.
Yeah,
almost the same thing, but they were going for the leaves off the tree.
Yeah, right on.
And then they caught on and figured out, hey, I guess that's how we're going to get some food here.
Yeah, you got to teach the little ones where to go for the food.
Absolutely.
When mama's done taking care of them and feeding them.
Do you think maybe the patterns are changing for a fall type pattern? Maybe.
I would hope so. I mean, the weather's drastically changed here in Michigan. I don't know about the other states, but here in Michigan, we've had a good 15, 20-degree swing in temperatures.
And I guess this week, looking at the weather, it's going to be like a 70 high, 50 low for the week and sunny.
Yeah, typical October.
So it's gonna even out a little bit. So hopefully that it's the weather change that happens in Michigan.
Right on.
And I don't think you haven't had a freeze up at your camp yet, have you?
Not that I know of. No,
and I don't think we've had one at our camp either.
No, I think the lowest temperatures we've had has been in the mid 40s, maybe the low 40s. When I was up there, about a month ago, it was really chilly one morning. But beyond that, no, it's been nothing that's been that close to freezing yet. So
yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, staying warm here. Not getting a cold snap yet, but those will be coming soon.
Well, as soon as that does, the food plots quit growing, the deer start digging, and it's game on at that point. So
right, and you got your food plots all set, ready to go, and got their winter feeding for them.
Yeah, I was actually contemplating. I was talking with our camp manager. I got a small spot that I'd like to see worked up. I don't know if it's going to get done this year or not. We've talked about it. I just don't think it's going to be able to. It'd be nice to go ahead and get it prepped maybe for next year. I don't know yet, but it's
okay. Decisions, huh?
Yeah. It's just one of them things. You start seeing things, and moving your blinds and getting things set up, and you're like, this would be a prime spot for a small, just a little shooting plot. And I don't know, man. It's just I just think it's a little late in the game. I don't see it happening this year, but next year definitely.
Definitely. You know what? If it doesn't happen this year, it's already a start for next year. That kind of sets up your game plan.
Well, you know me, man. Thinking deer 365. It never stops.
It seems to be that way, and you start out thinking. We'll go through our annual seasons, but it does seem that the deer on our mind is like a 365.
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, I'm already making plans and trying different things and thinking about next year, laying plans out. This year we had a lot of work, had a ton of work to do, and kind of got behind the 8 ball as most plans do. And you don't get caught up until right before season. It's like, okay, at what point do I quit working and start playing?
Well, you were to the last weekend before opener, right? Getting that blind out there.
Yeah.
So, you know very well.
And there's still some tweaks I need to do to it, even on the inside, that I'll probably finish up that I can do quietly and not disturb anything. So, it'll be a progression throughout the season.
That'll work. You know what? And, hey, as long as we're outdoors thinking about it, I'm good with that.
Right on.
I'm sitting here staring at these kayaks thinking, I'm thinking either probably towards the end of this month I'm going to have to figure out how to get those kayaks in my garage and put them up for the winter.
Yeah, it's always, we dump chemical in the pool. Tomorrow for me is going to be wrap the pool up day, getting all those fall activities done so I don't have to worry about it later in the season and make sure I can maximize my time in the outdoors.
And we don't need a sneaky freeze.
No, that can happen at any point in time here in Michigan.
Yep, exactly. So, no, I'm just sitting here thinking, looking at those kayaks going, it's going to have to...
More work to be done?
Yep, exactly.
So... But other than that, it's just been a typical rainy week here in Michigan. It's been super soggy. The food plots are growing, and, that's a good thing.
There's been some serious water out there.
Definitely.
But I don't know if they've been getting as much rain up by you and your camp as we have down here, though.
No, they haven't.
Okay, they didn't.
And that's something you bring up that actually I've been thinking about doing. And I checked with our weather guy at work. Who's got a little bit of knowledge on the weather.
The weather guy's got a little knowledge of weather?
I hope he does.
Okay, I hope so.
But one thing I was thinking about, with our deer management and habitat management plan that we're trying to put it together and start up at our camp, we have internet access. I thought, how cool would it be to have a outside weather station hooked up to internet so I can log in at any time and see, what's going on up there and keep data, figure out how much rain we've had, figure out what the weather conditions are.
You want to talk about instant weather fact.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of them that do keep data, over a period of time as well. So, like, you could say, well, this week we've had so much rain, or this month it's been, average temperature's been this. So when you're starting to correlate food plots or other habitat that you've planted, and it's maybe not faring so well, you can go back and look. Go, well, yeah, okay.
We've had a dry time.
We've had the last 3 weeks of no rain, or it's been extremely hot, or what have you.
Well, hey, and I bet you the weather guy would like that, to tap into that and get some weather information from you.
I don't know if I'll give him. He's got more computers and all that kind of cool stuff to do that stuff.
He does have some cool stuff,
yeah.
I bet.
But he turned me on to a weather station that has wireless capability to hook up to a router,
cool.
So we can put it outside of our lodge, and Wi-Fi it into the modem, and then you can dial in from a phone app and download or check in and see what all's going on. It's kind of cool.
That is very cool. I mean, so we could sit there on a cabin night and say, hey, what's the weather up at your camp? And we could log in and find out.
Absolutely.
Now that is cool.
Yeah, I'm waiting to have cameras put up. If we could do a live camera feed, that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that would be. Get a live camera, the live cam from camp.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like on a food plot.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out right now and see what's in the food plot.
I mean, there's possibilities making stuff like that happen. It's just how much money do you want to throw at it?
Absolutely.
So if there's anybody out there with a trail cam company that would like to join us in this venture, we'd be more than happy to entertain that thought with you.
Absolutely.
So, well, I'll tell you what, we're bumping up here on our first break. We've been talking a little deer hunting, talking a little weather, talking getting in the mood for hunting. So we're sitting here at Cabela's on the front porch, watching people come and go with goodies in their hands. And let's step outside. Well, we're already outside. Let's continue to stay outside. We'll take our first break, and we'll be right back after this.
I shoot PSE because I like one pin to 40 yards.
I shoot PSE for the perfect combination of feel and performance.
I shoot PSE because you can shoot lighter poundage and increase arrow speed.
I shoot PSE for the fastest bows on the planet. I shoot PSE because my livelihood depends on my bow.
I shoot PSE because better engineering makes a better bow.
I shoot PSE.
I shoot PSE.
I shoot PSE. I shoot PSE.
Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back. Second segment of the show. The sun is still shining, and we're still at Cabela's.
And it feels nice being outside and not wet.
Absolutely. It's beautiful out here. Speaking of being outdoors, out in the public, out on land, we're talking deer hunting, we're talking hunting in general. It's that time of year. Did you happen to catch the story this week on Facebook that I shared on our page about the land acquisition in Idaho?
I saw the headline. I didn't read the article. But you gave me the Cliff Notes version of what it was about, and kind of makes me leery of public land hunting.
Yeah, it's I kind of back up on this just a little bit, and I'm going to paraphrase, and I'm going to make I don't have it right in front of me, so if I misquote something a little bit here or there, forgive me. But basically, big chunk of land out in Idaho, okay, and it was owned by a logging company. And said logging company had allowed access to hunt this land. It's kind of what we have here, commercial forestry lands here
CFA
in Michigan.
Land.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, you put in for these public land hunts, and sometimes they're limited draw hunts, things of that nature. And, And this land was set up for a limited draw hunt for elk, okay? It was kind of a coveted tag from what I understand.
Okay, so the people have this knowledge that if you go out there to elk hunt, that they'll be able to go on this land.
Right. So you put in for your draw, you save your points, what have you. Finally, you draw your tag. And there was a gentleman out of, I believe it was Arkansas. Not 100% sure on that, but I think he was out of Arkansas, and I think he was a school teacher. So, he got his tag, purchased his tag after winning the lottery draw on this elk hunt, limited draw area, secured his plane reservation, hotel reservations, had everything, his time off work booked, the whole 9 yards.
So he was totally geeked up about going elk hunting.
Yeah.
All set.
And then said logging company sold the land to some billionaires in Texas who shut it all down. And not to mention, there was also some public land out there that all of a sudden became landlocked and had no access to. So the people that hunted that area could not gain access to that area either.
And they weren't granting access.
No, they're not granting access. And on top of that, the one guy who was kind of the main focus of the story, he cannot switch his time for hunting, because they did the state of Idaho, they kind of stepped to the plate and said, we understand, so we'll let you switch your tag for a general hunt in such and such area.
Right.
Which is not as good, obviously. But the problem was that hunt was at a different time, and he couldn't switch his time, his vacation time, and all that. So he's out the money, he's out the tag, he's out a whole bunch.
Almost like a once in a lifetime hunt. Right.
Well, I don't know if it's that.
But to that person, it could be, right?
Could be, right.
Here you are. You've done everything you needed to do. Dotted your T's.
Dotted your T's and crossed your I's.
Yes,
you got cross eyes, don't you?
Yes.
Dotted your I's and crossed your T's.
Here you do everything like that, and all of a sudden they go and they sell the land out from under you, and all of a sudden where you thought you were going, you couldn't get to.
Yeah, and I guess that's what we're talking about: public land hunts, maybe that are owned by a corporation, especially like forestry lands, that this is a possibility. And, and also talking about public lands, all of a sudden become landlocked, and you and I met with Jason Meekoff from Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, and that's their main focus of keeping public lands public, keeping them open. Now, obviously, in this situation, it was a piece of private land that was sold off, but we're talking also about this public land that got landlocked.
Exactly. Well, the public land getting landlocked was a total kind of, it went with the bucket, right?
Yeah. Biting the shorts.
Yeah, to say the least.
To put it politely.
And I don't know how big that public land was, but that kind of really sucks.
Yeah, it does. And I guess this is one of the reasons we need to think about saving our public lands in places like Backcountry Hunters and Anglers who are out there fighting for us. MUCC does a good job here in Michigan, Michigan United Conservation Club.
They keep on the tabs of what's going on, and
right.
because we also see the Michigan DNR sells land.
Right.
They have land sell-offs, and then these commercial forestry areas that are up north.
Yeah. That
there's a ton of acreage that's available that everybody can hunt today, but sounds like could be here today, gone tomorrow.
Right. Well, and let's put the shoe on the other foot now. You think about these companies that own this land. I mean, I know what we got paid for our logging project.
Okay.
And I know, they have to make money on things as well. I mean, our land's private, but, I mean, let's say they own a big tract of land up north in the UP, and they go in and they cut it. Now they're paying taxes on land that they have to sit and wait, depending on what type of trees they plant, of how long they have to wait before they can recut it again. So do they sell it? Do they keep it? I understand there's those issues as well. So it's not just as like, oh, man, these guys sold the land we hunted.
No. There's a lot that goes into
there's a lot of dynamics.
A lot that goes into the decision, depending on what they have, what they logged the first time off of it. Maybe there's something on there that they just need to wait 2 or 3 more years and they'll relog it.
Right.
But it's not just a one dynamic thing.
And another thing to think about too. I mean, and I think you've had somebody that's had a little bit of experience with this. There may be an easement, to a piece of public land, but if the land of the easement's on is sold and it's not renegotiated, am I right in saying that easement can be gone?
The easement will be gone, and it's up to that. It would be up to the DNR, which is the one that had this easement right access written, didn't follow up, and it was dropped. And I know the landowner doesn't want people trumping over his land,
right,
just to get to a fishing spot / public area.
Right. So what do you do in that situation?
That's that one is on the DNR's fault.
Yeah.
They should have been on top of it, but they didn't. and now they lost that access to that area.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many legalese things that are involved with this, and it's not just as cut and dry.
No,
as having access to public land.
And you get these, and I hate to say it, but you get these easements, and people
abuse it. Yeah.
You give them an inch, and they take a foot, and they leave
trash
and crap.
Yeah, debris and tear stuff up, and yeah, it's like if you're going to go in on an easement and you're gaining access to public lands, it doesn't matter if it's public land that you're on or the easement you're crossing on private land. Respect the property you're on and take care of it and leave it better than what you did when you walked in.
Right, exactly. Only leave footprints, right?
Exactly.
And it just, but that sounds interesting that happened, and now all of a sudden this whole big area that was once is now gone, and it doesn't sound like they're going to get it back.
No, they're talking thousands and thousands of acres. We're talking that, like I said, these Texas billionaires bought this land, and I don't know what they're going to do with it. It doesn't matter. It's their land. They can do with it whatever they choose, but the fact is they're closing it off, and it's not going to be open to public land hunting anymore.
That stinks. So really stinks. So keep on top of it and be vigilant. And hopefully, if you're going to go somewhere special to hunt, and that doesn't happen to you.
Yeah, do a little bit of research into the background of the area that you're going to, and just take a little time. It's like, okay, are these commercial forestry lands that are open, to public access? And, do a little bit of research maybe, maybe call the company and say, okay, hey, I'd like to, I'm putting in for a draw in this area. I understand you've got public land to hunt. How's it set up? You got, what's out there? Just do a little investigation. For your own self, and maybe even ask that question. This is not up for sale, I hope, so it didn't get taken out if I put in for this hunt.
Exactly.
So, but at any point in time, just realize that kind of stuff can happen. So,
and it can happen at any time.
Right on. So, well, I'll tell you what. We're running a little short here. We'll save a little time here in the next segment or towards the end of the show. And don't forget, we are drawing our Black Eagle Arrow winner for our second contest. We're drawing that here today at Cabela. So.
But you're going to have to wait for it.
To the end of the show.
End of the show.
So we're going to continue to sit outside, and we're going to take our next break. We'll be right back after this.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters. And the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
We are back live on Facebook, are we? Oh, there we are. Oh.
Yes, we are. And we're back for the third segment of the show. So,
ooh, I can actually see a little bit.
Clouds passing by, blocking the sun. Yeah, you just like looking at yourself in the camera on the phone there. That's all it is.
The only reason I look good is because you look good. You make me look good.
I don't quite know how to take that.
Exactly.
I think it's a backhanded compliment.
In a way.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Wow. Okay. Well,
but
I see where I stand now.
But you know what? We're here at Cabela's today, and we're in the bow area because it's archery.
No, we're not. We're on the front porch.
Well, actually, we're on the front porch. But actually, something happened really cool this week.
The weather changed?
Well, that happened. Well, it's starting today, but
archery season began?
Amongst the rain all week, and before archery season started on Saturday here in Michigan, PSE unveiled something on Thursday live on Facebook.
Yes, they did. They unveiled their flagship lineup of their hunting bows for 2017.
Man.
OMG,
and We're almost to 2017.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the other thing is the year is slipping by very quickly. But 3 months left. Wow.
So what do they have for us this upcoming year? Last year, I don't know how they're going to top the Carbonair.
Well, they've done some things, and actually that they even tweaked the Carbonair as well. I watched their presentation, and forgive me, PSE, if I misquote a few little things here and there along the way because I don't have everything in front of me. But from watching and remembering, they've got the biggest thing that I took out. There's 2 new bows. The Evolve 3135, I believe, is what they're called, and that's actually axle lengths.
Okay, so 31 and then 35.
Yeah, and I believe as well that I think those are the aluminum riser bows that they come out with.
All aluminum riser bow.
They have also come out with a new cam and
another new cam.
Yes, and the best I can understand from what I've seen and the way it works is they have an adjustable let-off mod built into the cam where you can adjust the let-off at different percentages.
Really? So not just being like an 80% let off or a 75, but you'll be able to adjust that?
To my understanding, that's the way this works. And I believe it's a binary cam system as well. The best way that they talked about it looks very complicated, but it's very easy to adjust. Because it looks real techy. I mean, it looks, and all I saw was they held the camera up to the bow that it was on. They put it on the Carbonair. It's on the Evolve 3135, and I think maybe not on a couple other bows. Don't quote me on that. But it's
man, they're just coming out with this new stuff left and right. Just when you think they hit the pinnacle with the Carbonair, they go ahead, they tweak that, and they come out with an aluminum riser bow.
Yeah,
going for just like the auto industry, aluminum,
lighten things up.
Yeah. Light but strong.
Yeah. Well, and Blake Shelby, the marketing manager there, he was on, and he was talking about, and he's like, being that it's aluminum, it feels extremely stiff in the hand on the draw the whole cycle.
Oh, that's cool.
He said so, and and that's the thing is, anything that they're putting out that they stand behind. It's the technology, the guys they got there working on stuff is just incredible. The things that they do every single year and bring new stuff out.
Makes me wish we were a little bit closer than
you think,
so we can pay a visit or two.
Right on, yeah, definitely. I'd like to be able to go out there and shoot some of my stuff. But he said that they're going to start delivery on this new lineup as early, I believe, as this week's stuff is going to start shipping, if I heard him correctly. So start looking in your pro shops in the next couple weeks, so you'll be able to start shooting some of these.
Yeah, I'm expecting Jim over there at Spot Shooters in Holly. He'll be changing his sign soon to say 2017 stuff will be in. So,
yeah.
And that usually happens November time frame. So in the next few weeks, get ready, folks.
Right on. Yeah. So it's it's just like cars, I guess. The cars come out, in the previous 3, 4, 5, 6 months before the new year. You've got new models coming out, but here it is, the week before archery season, and we've got new bows coming out, and it's just like, really?
Yeah, no kidding. It's like really.
It's like tease me right here before our Christmas season for us.
Exactly. Nothing like letting the cat out of the bag just before you're going into hunting season, looking at your bow, going,
yeah,
oh boy.
Yeah,
but that's kind of cool. So we'll definitely have to check into that and see if we can't maybe sneak over to Jim's and
if he gets some stuff in. If not, then we'll have to wait till ATA.
Yep, we'll have to wait till then, and then we'll talk to Bobby.
Yeah,
and Bobby will explain.
Yeah. So it's so that's exciting. Yeah, and they also, I think it was earlier in the day or the day previous, they did the same thing with their flagship target bows. Did they?
Oh, okay. Because I seen one they did. I seen the one where they unveiled the bows.
Yeah.
And I think the one previous to that was something about bowstrings.
Oh, and the one other thing that they did on some of their hunting bows this year is they put the Wedgelock system, the Wedgelock limb pocket on.
Oh, into their hunting bows.
Yeah, and actually, Blake was saying that some of these hunting bows, like maybe the Evolve 35, are going to become. He said you're going to see a lot of these on the target range.
Really?
Yeah, for target bows. Yeah.
Wow! Imagine that a bow you can take from the target range to the field.
Yeah. So pretty cool stuff. They're packing a lot of technology into these bows now, making them fully adjustable from top to bottom. That you can do right on your kitchen table or right there in the backyard while you're tuning. So
right, nothing like and technology just keeps coming. Just when you think
you've seen it all,
you've seen it all.
Yeah.
They step up.
Yeah.
And that's something about PSE we like is that they're never sitting on their hands.
Well, I've got a buddy who works in, and this is not in bows, but I mean, just talking about technology. He works in the automotive industry, and he's talking about raw horsepower or power off of from the motor right to the asphalt. He says, really, we've only scratched about 40% of the technology of what we think we can get out of things. And that's just right now. I mean, as technology evolves, it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. But high performance, you just keep seeing high performance continue to extend leaps and bounds.
And we're not even going to touch the surface of the autonomous vehicle.
Right. Yeah. So we're going to have a bow that shoots itself.
You would think we might get to that point, because I know cars are getting to that point really quick. And from what I'm seeing at my job, that segment is going to be a leaps and bounds, an amazing factor.
That's going to be the next big thing, I think. You think?
Oh, absolutely.
But
no, as far as archery's going, PSE stepping it up once again for 2017. Something new that, again,
just keeps going
right before archery season.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, something else you were talking about came out too from our friends at Deerlab.
Yeah, this week they made an announcement. John Livingston over there at Deerlab, they put out a release talking about a new feature for Deerlab. I mean, for those of you who may just be checking out the show for the first time or just tuned in since the last time we talked about Deerlab, Deerlab is a management system for trail cam photos. Basically, as long as your time and date stamp on your camera is correct.
Is it safe to say pretty much now that basically all the cameras do that now?
He said all but one that he knows of.
He knows.
Yeah, and it's an older model of something. But yeah, all the newer cameras basically do that. But you have to have your time and date stamp set correctly. That way, what it does is it pulls information from the National Weather Service for your location, and you actually GPS locate your camera, and it will pull the weather data, and you can start to take your photos and build an archive in pattern deer and tagging photos of certain bucks or certain animals or what have you for certain weather conditions. And the one thing that they added to it this week is they're now pulling moon phase data. Now I know there's controversy within moon phase data. If people want either use it and believe in it, or they say no, I don't believe in it. But they have taken this for the people who want to use this feature and incorporate it into Deerlab.
Another added feature to Deerlab.
Absolutely.
And it now, like you said, depending on if you agree or disagree, it's just another tool in the Deerlab toolbox to use.
Right.
And you know what? You might not be a believer today about moon phases, but if you're using Deerlab and all of a sudden you start to see this and something starts to make sense, you never know.
Well, and we've talked about this many times and talked about planning our hunts around moon phase. And now, do I buy into it 100%? I don't know enough about it to really say yes or no. I've heard pros and I've heard cons. But the one thing that I do believe in, because I see it firsthand, is full moon at night.
Yes.
Full moon at night, deer delight.
You are not kidding. That's exactly.
As long as there's no cloud cover, deer will feed all night long.
And it's magnified if there's snow on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, because it is just something out there that we've seen it. If you get a trace of snow, a full moon, you can basically walk out there without a flashlight.
Bingo. And the thing I like to try to plan hunts around, if I'm going to plan some time off and I've got the luxury to be able to do it, I'll look at moon phase, and what I try to do is I'll try to catch full moon during the day. Full moon.
Okay.
Full moon rising in the morning, setting in the evening, because that way the moon's already is gone.
There's no moon
set by the time it gets dark, and it's dark.
It's dark,
and it's okay, dear. It's time to go to bed. Go to sleep, so you can get up in the morning and eat.
And then what happens is when you play that, it almost for me, it's almost like, okay, it was a full moon last night. If we had snow or if it was a clear night, the morning hunt's kind of. It's not. I'd rather go out at 10.
Right. Well, and I think also, I mean, is it because of the moon? I think a lot of it has to do with hunting pressure as well.
Oh, absolutely.
When deer are pressured, and they got to get to food sources, they can see and feed easier when there's a full moon with no cloud cover.
And they can move about freely, and they don't have any other sense. They don't. It's like walking in the daylight for them. They get to their feeding source, then all of a sudden they're done and gone. They're like, let's go to bed.
Right.
So. Nope, totally agree.
That's kind of my thoughts on it. You know, what I'd like to do is if I can start to pattern some deer and see if I can see something that might trigger a thought. You know,
exactly.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, if you guys are out there listening to the show and you're like, yes, I believe in it, and you know, this is why. You know, put it on our Facebook page.
Yeah, let us know.
You start a conversation about it. And if there's guys out there, and I know some of the guys we've talked about personally about this. No, there's nothing to this. It's you know, people put a lot of thought into it, but it's there's nothing really to it. You know, and I respect that as well. It's but.
Hey.
Like you said, it's another tool in the toolbox, and Deerlab has made it available to be able to be used if for whatever reason.
And you know what? And that's one thing nice about Deerlab right now is we just discussed pretty much any camera that you have, except for the exception of one. It sounds like this will work. So
absolutely.
Don't think you're gonna spend. I gotta go buy new cameras. Blah blah blah. It doesn't sound like you're gonna need to do that.
No, you know, and actually, I was able yesterday. I was down at Dundee working for Vortex and. You know, down there, you're right in the middle of the hunting department, and that's where they send everybody that's got questions, right to that counter. And the guy's got 2 Browning trail cameras in his hands. And I'm like, oh, I said, okay. I said, you got questions about them? And he's like, well, he says, actually, I'm just waiting on my buddy. He says, but what do you think about them? They're on sale. And I go, well, actually, I said, that's what I use is Browning trail cams. I said, and I love them. So then we started talking about the cameras. Then we started talking. I said, I told him about Deerlab. And he's like, what?
What?
And he's like, really? And I said, well, how many cameras you running? He said, oh, I got, you know, anywhere from 6 to 8 out at a time. And I said, well, you really need to check into this. And I give him the website and everything. And he was really intrigued. He's going to go check it out. So.
I tell you what, the thing about that is, you know what, running 6 to 8 cameras on average of, let's just say 100 pictures. So then you've now got 600 to 800 pictures you got to go through, organize.
Yeah.
Why not let Deerlab do it?
Yeah. And start pulling weather data and see if you can pattern a buck.
Exactly.
You know, is he moving right before a cold front? Is he moving right after a cold front? Is he moving, you know,
full moon?
Full moon. Is he moving when, you know, you've got cloud cover and it's, you know, or it's raining, you know, temperatures, wind conditions, all those different types of things, and seeing when he or she or it, depending on if it's a predator you're hunting, seeing when they're moving.
Yep, exactly.
You know? So,
it sounds like another plus for Deerlab.
Yeah, I like it. It works for me. I think it's worth checking out. They do have a free trial for two weeks, I believe it is. You can go over for 14 days, upload your pictures, and it's all stored on the cloud. So
did the guy buy the cameras?
Yeah, of course he bought the cameras.
There you go.
So, all right, I'll tell you what. We're bumping up on our last break here. We're going to take our last break, but we're going to step inside.
Yep.
Go back to the archery shop, back in the tech court, and while they're wrenching on bows, we figure that's where we're going to draw our Black Eagle winner for this second giveaway that we got for Black Eagle arrows.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
The 2015 Dream Season Decree is a deadly combination of speed and precision. It's built for the moments when time stands still. When the only thing that will break the silence is an arrow slicing a clean path to the kill zone. The bow of your dreams is a nightmare for big game. This is PSE's Decree. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
All right, last segment of the show. We are back in the tech core, the deepest bowels of the archery department.
We are in the. You're pretty correct because we are in the back corner.
That's right.
But we are now moved inside. They did not banish us to the sidewalk.
Yeah, who's making comments that they kicked
I
us
know
out of the store?
the peanut gallery out there is making comments that we were banished to the store.
Not yet.
You know, at least not yet. You're right.
Yeah.
So
one day maybe.
One day.
And yes, we are going to draw the winner of the Black Eagle arrows giveaway, but we're not going to
That's
do it to
be
the
the
very
last
end of the show.
thing. No,
so you have to put up
no.
with us right until the very end.
That's right. You know, we earlier segment of the show, we talked about new things coming out, PSE coming out, Deerlab coming out. You did something new, but not new. You did something traditional.
Traditional, yeah, archery season. Do you have any traditions that you do for archery season, or even hunting season?
You know,
lucky pair of socks, lucky underwear, lucky shirt,
to tell you the
stand on
truth,
your head and walk to your stand?
Not really.
Nothing.
I really don't have anything.
No traditions.
Dude, I can't think of a one that
lucky jacket?
No.
Really?
I'm thinking lucky hat, but my hat seemed to change.
Yeah. Maybe that's what you try and change your luck. They all bad luck?
But could be, but you, on the other hand,
I got a lucky jacket that I use during turkey season.
You got a lucky pair of hair clippers too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're lucky. I mean, I manage to hold my own every now and then. But yeah,
you hold your own. You hold your own and shave your head.
I didn't shave it. I just trimmed it.
Dude, that's shaved.
No, shave.
Okay.
Shave means you take a razor to it. I did not take a razor to my head. I took a pair of clippers and took a number with no guard, which is basically a 0, and there's stubble there.
I'll shave your head for you.
No, you won't. I've done that one time. And
did you really?
Oh, my hand stuck to my head when I put it on there. It felt clammy. It's like, no, I don't like this feeling. It's got to have a little stubble.
Really?
Yes. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, that won't be happening until it falls out.
Okay.
No, I traditionally,
but you do
before
that for
archery season. Yeah, I mean, playing the scent control game. I mean, that's kind of in the back of my head. The reason I do it, hair holds certain, it holds sweat.
It does.
It holds smells. There's oil in it. All those things. Is it still coming out my head? Yeah, it's still coming out my head.
Exactly. It's all in that scent control game. Some people buy it. Some people don't buy it.
Yeah. Well, and somebody on Facebook was giving me the business about it a little bit, and it's like, just dude, quit worrying about stuff and go out and hunt.
Right. Exactly.
And it's like, it's more of a ritual thing for me to put me in the mindset of.
And you know what? You think about it though. Here we are, the week before season. You're starting that. Shave your head.
Yep.
The weekend before, you're putting up your blind. It's just starting to fall into
things you do. And next thing I got to do is get my scent lock ready. I got to throw it in the dryer and get it activated. Get it back in the bag, the scent free bag, and get it up to camp.
Get it washed in the detergent. Get it.
No washing. No,
you're just gonna
No, this is the newer stuff that doesn't need it as much. You just take it and activate it unless you need it, and then you spot wash it. But no, I'm just gonna throw it in dryer, activate it, get it ready to go, throw it in there, and get all my stuff together, do some more shooting here in the next 2 weeks, get ready to rock, and get up there and hopefully let some arrows fly.
Absolutely, we definitely gotta get some arrows flying here.
Black Eagle arrows.
Black Eagle arrows. Stay tuned for the drawing on that one.
Yeah, definitely want to stick one in something.
You're gonna have some zombie arrows flying here.
No, I'm shooting carnivores.
Well, no, you're shooting zombies for something else.
Oh, yes, I did get zombies. I take that back. Yes, I got the new PSE RDX 400. Came in last week.
Yes, you did. We had Jim assemble it.
Don't have it shot yet, but I'm very anxious to get that out and get it ready so I can have something for late season.
And,
so
I think you will enjoy it, and I think we'll enjoy seeing the effects of the zombies.
Yeah, definitely. So, we got some zombie crossbow bolts.
Yep.
And we're going to let them fly, man.
And I'm going to shoot the carnivores out of my crossbow.
Right on.
So, but that RDX, I tell you what, I saw that over at Jim's and
heard a lot of good things about it.
It's a nice looking crossbow.
So
I think you're really going to like that come late season.
Well, and that's kind of the mindset with that. I'm still shooting vertical bow as long as my body will allow. And I notice every year, and pretty much every morning that I wake up, as I get older, every day, there's new aches and pains. So we're there's no secret about that. As we get older, things get a little harder to do, and at one point, I'll have to make that switch.
Well, and that goes back to what we talked about earlier in the show. Just another tool in your tool shed.
You're right. Late season when it's cold and you're sitting in the stand and you want to be out late season archery hunting, and you're sitting there for a couple hours and it's hard to pull back.
It's nice.
You got the crossbow instead.
Yeah, it's nice. You got muzzleloader season in the beginning of December.
Yeah.
But after middle of December, when it all ends and all you have is the crossbow and bow.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of nice. To
right
say,
on.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's going to get cold.
Absolutely. So there'd be opportunities there to get back out and do a few things. But speaking of muzzleloader season, we're working on a project with David Boggs. David Boggs, who used to be one of our teammates here at Up North Journal.
Right.
Him and I are working on something Hopefully going to get some youth from Backwater Legacies up to do a little muzzleloading hunting. We'll keep you in tune on that, so that's something to pay attention to coming up here in the next couple months.
That should be entertaining.
So,
especially if we get kids involved and we get the kids out there and they're going to take some deer down for you up at camp. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting some does taken care of.
Putting some smile on some faces.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in talking about does, getting back to last week, I did look through some of those trail cam photos.
Okay.
Still got some problems with some coyotes.
Oh.
We need to take care of. We're seeing a lot of doe. So, everything that we thought going into the season seems to still be translating itself through the trail cameras.
You're kind of another thing trail cameras can help you do is prove points.
Exactly.
You've got some theories.
Yeah.
But now you're putting pictures to your theories, and now you can almost make factual statements.
Yeah, and that's we're going to use. I still don't have all my photos yet. I ran out of time. When I go back up, I will pull the rest of my camera cards and dump the videos or dump the pictures. Start organizing them for our trail cam study. And then we're going to do a late season study as well. And that's going to hopefully, once we start putting all this together, give us our buck to doe ratio, give us our fawn recruitment rate, figure out how many deer we have on the property, and we've got a formula that we can use for our carrying capacity, and say, okay, we've got X amount of deer too many, or no, we're okay.
Exactly.
And it's going to start playing into that management. And another thing I'd like to do, and I don't know if we're going to be able to really get it going this year, because I haven't really expressed this a lot to the guys at camp, but I would like to start doing camp tags for our deer that are taken off the property. And
you mean
like the age, the weight, things of that nature. Help
information tag per deer.
Yeah, an information tag.
Okay.
So instead of taking it and field dressing it, bring it back to camp, hang it on a scale, weigh it, get the live weight or dead weight.
Almost like a camp deer check station.
Exactly.
Get all the information you need.
Start building a database for our camp. Okay, so in 5 years from now, if we're still doing the same thing, are we seeing increased weight in our deer? Are we harvesting? Let me change that. Are we killing bigger deer? Are we taking deer that have more weight on them?
Has everything you've done in the last 5 years been fruitful?
Right.
To what you're doing,
instead of just guessing, saying, we think our deer are big. Let's do a little thing on our own. Let's just step back and it's not that hard. And not only that, I got to thinking as well. If you take your deer, bring it back to camp, and not everybody has this ability to do this,
right.
But we're having a problem with coyotes. Okay, so now you field dressing your deer in the field. You throw the gut pile out.
Dinner bell.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, winner, chicken dinner. Come get it. So you're giving predators a reason to
stick around.
Yeah. So let's say amongst all of our guys, let's just say we take 20 deer this year, just as a number. And you've got 20 gut piles out there in a 2-week period of time. Well, all you're doing is providing an extra meal for said coyotes.
And it's a free meal, and trust me, when they find it, they're going to love it.
Yeah, bring it back to camp, hang it on the pole, weigh it, zip it open, put a bag underneath it, let it all go in the bag, take the garbage bag, throw it in the dumpster.
Yep, and you have that ability that when you got a dumpster, you can just dispose of it. You know what? That'd be so much better than... unfortunately, we don't have that option, so we put it back into the woods. But we're learning to put it in spots where we're not going to want to be.
Right.
So, because if we're not going to be there, the gut pile will, and then the coyotes can go over there.
Right on. And speaking of coyotes, we do one of our mini casts here later on for the week. I got something about coyotes I want to talk about that I heard from a gentleman yesterday that might raise an eyebrow or two.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll just kind of throw that out there. So.
Oh, that's cool.
See what you think.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So.
Well, we're running up here towards the end of the show. What do you think?
I think it's time that we draw something.
All right. Well, hang on here 1 second. Let's get everything ready. All right. Dan's got the hat, the lucky hat.
I got the hat.
How are we doing this? We got 14 numbers.
We got 14 possible winners.
Okay.
And in this hat of mine, it's actually a Cabela's hat, we've got 1 through 14.
Okay.
So whatever number Nicole will pull.
You got them all numbered on your little booklet.
I've got it numbered right here, so we'll know instantaneously who wins.
All right.
Ready,
right.
Nicole?
So we've got our.
Oh, look
our
at her. She's all,
tech.
all confident over there. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to? Oh, Ryan's going to step in.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
She's
Pull
getting
it.
blocked out. Here we go. We got what number we got? 5.
Number 5. Clint Turner.
Clint Turner, our good buddy in Illinois. Thanks, Ryan, for pulling the number.
Thanks.
So Clint Turner will be getting a half dozen of which?
Outlaws
from Black Eagle Arrows.
Black Eagle Arrows, and he'll be getting some nose jammer and some other
Up North Journal swag. Love
Up
me some
North
swag.
Journal koozies. So Clint Turner, I will be in touch with you here in no time.
Alrighty, guys, that'll do it this week for the show. Stay tuned for some mini-casts coming out this week, as well as our PSE Tech Tip and Throwback Thursday. Don't forget, you can also catch us over on the Outdoor Podcast channel, and we've got a new show over there running as well, so make sure you check out all of our great shows that we've got over there. People are out hitting it hard in the woods this week, and if you're one of the fortunate people to be able to do that, remember, as we have always said here at the Up North Journal, shoot straight, be safe.
This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.